My name is Richard Crawford, and I've built my career on representing luxury brands around the world. And in doing so, I've had the privilege of having some truly out-of-the-ordinary experiences. But at what cost? It's getting harder and harder to blindly ignore the impact our extravagant lifestyle is having on the planet and its people. So I've decided to investigate whether there really is a sustainable way to visit the wonders of the world but still have extraordinary luxury. Can I have globe-trotting adventures without leaving a significant footprint? Well, let's find out. And by using the basic principles that define ecotourism, which are minimal impact, sustainability, social responsibility, and of course, let's not forget overall guest experience, I will rate my travels around the planet to see if we really can make a difference. In this very special two-part episode of Leave No Trace, we took you to one of the most spectacular destinations on Earth, the Maldives. In part 1, we visited Saniva Fushi, the first luxury hotel in the Maldives. In this episode, we visit one of the newest, Saniva Jani. This property is the embodiment of paradise itself. Set above the incredible clear blue waters of the Indian Ocean, it's not only luxurious, but it maintains the highest eco-credentials of any resort on the planet. So forget Leave No Trace, because by the end of this episode, it'll be Leave Me Behind. In our previous episode, I travelled to the Maldives, located about 430 miles southwest of India, to visit the Saniva organisation. Now, Saniva has been leading the way in luxury eco-resorts since 1995, and Saniva Fushi was their original resort, and it was here that they introduced a number of eco-initiatives, including the resort-wide recycling centre and charging guests a per-day levy that contributed to their own charity, the Saniva Foundation. In 2016, Saniva opened their newest resort, and I can't wait to see it. Well, another beautiful morning has broken here in paradise, and I'm really excited today because I'm heading to Saniva Jani, which is Saniva's newest property, and it's their over-water experience, which is kind of what everybody thinks about when you think about the Maldives, and it's about an hour-and-a-half speedboat ride from here. So, Saniva Jani, here we come. Thank you, my friend. Visitors to Saniva in the Maldives often combine visits to both resorts, and the transfer between them is provided complimentary on one of Saniva's custom-built speedboats. In true Saniva style, even this trip proved to be spectacular, with a pod of dolphins escorting us the whole way. And before I knew it, an oasis appeared before us. Incredible.
Marhaba, welcome to Saniva Jani. I'm Shaz.
Hey Shaz, very nice to meet you. I'm Richard. Well, I have to tell you, I didn't know quite what to expect, but it definitely wasn't this. I can't wait to find out everything about this place.
There's more to discover.
Saniva Jani features 3 island and 51 overwater pool villas. The resort is designed to resemble plankton, geometric yet organic, tethered tenuously to their island host. The largest structure, the 3-storey The Gathering, is the heart of the resort, housing a variety of dining outlets, as well as the spa, library and retail area. Here we are at what they call The Gathering, basically the heartbeat of the whole resort, and the villas spread out on each side from here. Now, this structure is a great example of Saniva's philosophy towards sustainable construction. All the materials are recycled. The support beams themselves, well, they're recycled telegraph poles from New Zealand and South Africa. And all the other furnishings and fixings are made from either local or recycled materials also. Now, the fact that everything is whitewashed and the contrast against the beautiful blue ocean makes it visually stunning. Now, I've stayed at several Soneva properties now and they've all been very impressive. So I'm really looking forward to what my villa looks like at this resort. So here I am at my villa, villa number 9, and even the room number itself is sustainable, made from glass back at the glass factory at Soneva Fushi. Now, if you follow me to this rather nondescript door, I promise you behind here there's something very, very special. This quite literally is the door to paradise. As you can see, the first thing that hits you smack bang in your face is paradise. I don't know how else to describe that view, but we'll talk more about that later. Let's talk about the villa itself. Now, this feature here is a sunken area to enjoy some meals, and a feature of that is the glass bottom, which is actually a theme throughout the whole villa. And here you can see is a much larger area where you can watch all the sea life go by. And if that's not enough for you, while you're taking care of nature, you can actually watch nature. It sure does beat a newspaper. And once you've done your business, it's time to take care of business. And they've provided you with an office space to do that. But to be honest with you, I'm not sure I'm getting much work done with a view like that. Now, this is the master suite, king-size bed, and just like the other Soneva properties, this pulls up to be your television or entertainment center, but you'd honestly need your head examined if you want to watch this over that incredible view. Now, one of my favorite spaces here is the bathroom. And my favorite thing about this space is that it's predominantly outdoors. And continuing with the theme of bringing outdoors in, they have this portal here too. Now, isn't this incredible? Sunken tub, shower, and your own private swimming area, which I think is really impressive. I think it's safe to say that this could be regarded as the naked zone in the villa. But if you're uncomfortable being naked outdoors, then they have their own indoor shower too. And this is the dressing room. Now, what this room really highlights is all the materials that are sourced locally and made by local artists, right down to the tiny details like the handles here on the dresser. And following the Soneva fine tradition, they have a refrigerated walk-in minibar, although there's nothing mini about it. Undoubtedly, the best feature of all of these villas is the outdoor space. Now, each one comes with its own private saltwater pool. And down on the deck, you're quite literally getting your feet wet from the Indian Ocean. Now, I'm not sure the camera is doing these colors any justice. I've seen pictures of it before, but nothing like it is in real life. And they give you this ladder so that you can literally step right in. Now, that's the sea level, but let me show you upstairs. The upstairs area is a relaxation and dining area. And as you can see from this panel over here, all of these villas are also wired with a high quality Bluetooth sound system. What I really love about this is typically you're given a choice when you have an accommodation. You're either offered a sunrise view or a sunset view. But here, you actually have both. And for me, that's a dream come true. Now, what's also impressive is that although Soneva is using these recycled materials to build these villas, the quality of finish is still excellent. All of the Soneva properties have their very own observatory. In fact, the observatory here on Soneva Jani is the most advanced observatory in all of the Maldives. But that being said, I actually prefer my own private observatory right here from my bed. What's this? Assuming I can drag myself out of my oceanside jacuzzi, next up I'll go in search of the perfect location to have a cocktail. Well, thank you, Mr. Friday. And later I'll be hitting the high seas on my very own private floating villa, which actually has 2 jacuzzis. Well, good morning, and what better way to start the day than your own private water slide. Woohoo! The whole point of us visiting here is to highlight sustainability in tourism. And nowhere is that more significant than here in the Maldives, and specifically here at Sanivajani. The whole point of coming down here is to enjoy these pristine, clear waters. Now, the people at Saniva do a really good job with their sustainability program, including their waste management and their zero carbon footprint. And even here in their construction phase, they were very careful to build on the sand and not on the coral. But there are certain aspects that are out of their control. Pollution, for example. The last thing you want to see around here is a bunch of garbage and plastic. And of course, the issue of rising water levels. The highest point in the Maldives is only 2.5 meters, so any rise at all in the water levels has a really significant impact in the Maldives. Now, in a little moment of personal reflection, this place to me truly is paradise on earth, and it would be such a shame if it just wasn't here in 20 or 30 years. As with all resorts at this level, cuisine plays a major role, and the people at Saniva work very hard to provide a good quality menu. Now, in this case, that's actually a lot easier said than done, due in big part just to the remoteness of the resort. Now, Saniva's philosophy is to provide organic, healthy and tasty foods. And when Saniva first took over the lease on the island, there was actually a small group of farmers already there growing produce and selling it in local markets. And in true Saniva style, they not only continued those farms, but they've actually expanded on them. And anything that Saniva can't get locally, they'll only buy from reputable, sustainable and ethical sources. For example, you'll never see shark fin, dolphin or whale on the menu. So let's go talk to the executive chef and get a little more information. So I'm here with Chef Kevin, who's a culinary director for Saniva in all of the Maldives. Fun place to be, by the way.
Amazing.
So, Chef, tell me a little bit about some of Saniva's culinary philosophies.
We have to think about, firstly, what's nourishing for our guests, because we believe that food is also food. It's also health. And then what's ethical. Here we have a no-no list at Saniva. And there's certain fish species that we cannot use, and there's certain animals that we will not use.
Right.
We're passionate environmentalists, and at the same time, we have to have wild cuisine. We need to have wild cuisine. So when I consider my menus, I source as locally as possible. I source from our garden. I'll source from the neighboring islands. We only use day boat seafood from the fishermen in the Maldives.
How logistically difficult is it to make the correct amount of food for the right amount of people that's here?
It is very logistically difficult to get the right products from ethical suppliers in the right quantity in the time frame we need within 1 or 2 days into the Maldives. But that's why I'm here. That's why my team's here.
Right.
We have to have waste is minimal.
Yeah.
Minimal completely. And in Saniva Fuji, we are developing a zero waste restaurant.
Yeah.
where nothing will be wasted and everything will be used. Because here we're very passionate about saving the environment for our future generations, and I think chefs now have to be environmentalists, because the future of the environment and the future of great food are the same.
The food and beverage team at Saniva Gianni certainly seems to have done something right, because with 8 restaurants and an incredible array of special dining options, one thing's for sure, I'm definitely never going to go hungry. Being a new resort, the architecture and the food go hand in hand, and in this room we have an incredible wine cellar, the ham and cheese selection, and of course the now famous chocolate room and ice cream parlour next door, which I've come to know and love. While the food here is incredible, there's something about this restaurant that makes it really unusual. Now, contrary to your parents' advice about not swimming within 30 minutes of eating your meal, here you can quite literally put your fork down, get out of your seat and go for a dip. So if you'll excuse me. They think of everything at Saniva and have conveniently put the gym close to the chocolate and ice cream parlour. Now normally it can be difficult to get motivated to go to the gym, but with a view like this, you've honestly got no excuse. Just because the sun sets here in the Maldives doesn't mean that the fun has to end. And the people at the Saniva organisation were the first to introduce the outdoor cinema concept to the Maldives. And here it is, Cinema Paradiso. And it's worked so well that they actually feature it at all of the properties. Now, they go to great lengths to make sure that this is a full movie-going experience. They have a bar with drinks, they have snacks, and they even have a popcorn machine, so you can eat popcorn until your heart's content. Now, the people here at Saniva Gianni have actually taken it one step further, and they've created a silent cinema, where they give all their guests these Bluetooth headsets, and it's less about their convenience and more about consideration for the wildlife and the environment here, especially the turtles who nest here. Now, this is definitely going to be the most unique movie experience I've ever had. I'm sitting here on a hammock above the water with marine life just swimming below me. Speaking of which, I hope they play one of my favourite movies of all time, Finding Nemo. If there's one thing we know about Sonu, if he likes something, he really gets into it, as is evident by chocolate rooms and ice cream parlours at all of the resorts. Now, he's also really into astronomy, so what did he do? He built observatories at all of the resorts. And this particular telescope is actually the largest telescope in all of the Maldives. But what's really cool about it is anything that this lens is pointing to is transmitted on the TV screens at each of the tables as everybody's having their dinner. And the guests are educated by the astronomer, because they believe here at Saniva that educating the guests about nature will mean that they'll respect it more. The one thing I've learned about Saniva is that it's all about lifestyle and service. And for them, nothing is impossible. On a beautiful sunset, if only I had a cocktail. Ah, Mr. Friday, your timing is impeccable. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, guys. See you later. Cheers. Like I said, it's all about service. Next, I tear myself away from Saniva Gianni to board Saniva and Aqua, where I put the R in Ricky and display my prowess as a sea captain.
No, the whole time I've been listening to you, I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah,
to what
that,
we're
okay,
doing,
okay, that's,
so you might want to give me a little direction.
Thank you, Mr. Friday. I appreciate it. It's been an incredible stay. Thank you. So unfortunately, our time here on Sneva Jani has come to an end, but I'm definitely coming back, if for no other reason, just to make sure the place is still here. But the pain of having to leave here is eased just a little bit, because we're actually heading now to Soneva in Aqua, which is basically a floating 2-bedroom villa. So let's go check that out. I'm really excited about that. Let's go, guys. Bye, guys. See you later. Thank you. See you tomorrow. I wish. Sure. See you tomorrow. And the next day. And the next day after that. Bye. Bye. Shedding a tear. Bye. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, Richard.
Hey.
Aaron, Captain for Seven Up.
Oh, hey, Richard Crawford. Nice to meet you.
Would you like to see the yacht?
Absolutely. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. Would I like to see the yacht? Oh, well, this really does have a wow factor. This is incredible.
The Soneva factor.
That's incredible. So Aaron, tell me a little bit about this Soneva in Aqua.
Soneva Aqua is about 2 years old. She was designed, custom built by us at Soneva Resorts, specifically as a floating villa. So anyone who's familiar with the villas on Soneva Fushi, each one's custom, each one is different. What we have here is a mobile villa.
So it's quite literally an extension of Soneva.
Everything, the philosophy, the theory, the essence of Soneva is on board this yacht.
Yeah.
So we have all the sustainability, we have all the food. Soneva is known for its food. So everything we have aboard, we have a 4 to 6 rotating crew. That's going to be your captain, your engineer, your spa therapist. Each person, guest gets a massage a day, 30, 60 minutes, 90 minutes even. Yeah. You've also got your full-on chef. And your Mr. Friday, who's our butler. Your Mr. Friday will be in the water snorkeling with you, diving with you, onshore excursions. We can do just about everything, so it's completely custom.
Right, and typically how many guests would come on board?
For overnight charters, we do about 4 adults, 2 kids, so you're talking 6.
Yep.
For day charters, we can do anywhere between 10 and 15 guests on board.
Oh, fantastic. So it holds quite a few people.
Yeah, so let me show you the boat.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Let's
right,
go have a look around. So Aaron, you'd mentioned to me downstairs sustainability, and we are on a yacht.
Right.
So how do you actually implement that kind of stuff on a yacht?
Well, first and foremost, we're a sailing yacht. So we're a cutter rig. We have a foresail, a staysail, and a mainsail. So we do try to use those as much as is possible. Whenever we have the proper wind strength, wind direction, there we go, sails come up, and we're sailing. As far as some of the materials used on board the yacht, one of the first things you're going to notice is some of these covers. All of this material is recycled, including what we're standing next to right here. We do have a glass blowing shop on Soneva Fushi.
Oh, so this glass is actually from the Soneva Fushi glass workshop?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, cool.
It's all
Very
recycled
cool.
as well. This lights up at night, creates part of our kind of candlelit moonlight scene every evening for dinner.
Nice little ambience.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Stunning.
So we've seen the outside. Let's go have a look at the inside.
Absolutely.
You bet.
Sure. So Richard, here we are in our saloon. It's one of our largest interior areas, and you might actually be familiar with some of the Soneva decor in here.
I am. It's very familiar, actually, right down to the materials being used and the fixings, and especially I see this theme a lot. The old luggage is really nice. Actually, I really like it. Now I see a table here, so I'm presuming some meals are eaten here. So how is the food supplied and served on the ship?
Sure, we have the Soneva quality of food, which is some of the best in the Maldives.
Yes, it is.
So you're going to find our organic garden produces all of our vegetables and fruits. We have some of the best shellfish, locally caught fish out here. The poultry, the meat, everything is the top quality out here. So we do have a chef on board.
Wow.
5-star chef. So 24 hours before every charter, myself and the chef will meet with our guests, and we'll go over every preference, every food requirement, and talk about everything just down to the minute detail, so that we're presented to you perfectly on board.
Yeah.
We even have some of the treats. We have the ice cream.
And the chocolate room.
And the chocolate room.
Thank
correct.
goodness
Yeah.
you said that,
So
because I love the chocolate room.
We find out your favorite flavors of ice cream, your favorite chocolates we have in the chocolate room, bring those on board, and have everything down to just your personal detail.
You just made my day.
Yeah, perfect. So you've seen the inside now, so let's go ahead and go to our sun deck.
Oh, so there's sun deck. So should I change into something a little more appropriate?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Let's go.
So Richard, here we have the top level of the yacht. Four-level yacht, and this is the very top. This is our sun deck. So up here we can produce canapes, music, snacks, anything you'd like to keep you comfortable up here.
And the perfect view too, right?
Yeah, it's a 7-meter view.
Yep.
We're 7 meters above the water.
Yep.
And the water is very appealing from this angle.
It does. It looks good. I tell you what, the younger man in me would have wanted to jump off of here.
Oh, I think you should do it.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Let's give it a shot. 7 meters.
You know what? You know what?
You got this.
Challenge accepted. At Seneva, it's all about creating a lifetime of rare experiences, and this definitely qualifies. Now this is what I call sustainable. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, I don't think there's a better way to see the Maldives than to be in a jacuzzi on your own private yacht. And you know, as night falls, I think it's time to just slip into something a little more formal. Hey, Aaron.
Yeah, Richard.
Do you mind if I take the helm? Is that the
absolutely.
term?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Go
okay,
ahead.
cool,
Yeah.
perfect. Captain's log.
Yeah, the responsibility is all yours.
It is. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm scared.
Yeah, I would be. It's intimidating.
Now, is this is a pretty big wheel? Is that because to look cool you want to steer it with your feet?
It is pretty cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool. But no, this is our helm station, so you've got all your navigation and everything. So we obviously allow our guests to come up and steer the yacht as well.
Right. And what kind of excursions can the guests expect to get on the yacht?
Most of our excursions are all custom, but generally we start with your breakfast charter, your lunch charter. We do, of course, your dinner charters, sunset dolphin tours. We can do an astronomy dinner with have one of our astronomers on board. And of course our overnight excursions. So the overnight excursion is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, as many nights as the guest would like.
Good, good. Now, the whole time I've been listening to you, I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah,
to so you might want to give me a little direction.
Let's
because you literally just handed me the wheel. What am I supposed to do?
Well, don't hit green or anything brown.
Okay, no green and no brown.
Go ahead and come to port, which is to your left here a little bit.
Okay.
Boy,
okay. Very cool.
Takes a second to get in.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a delay, right? So I don't want to oversteer.
Right,
Look at me learning terminology real fast.
Quickly.
Very nice. Okay, well, this is pretty easy.
Well, you're actually going for a reef. So let's come back to this.
Okay.
That's a reef.
Now, what does this do?
Let's not touch that. That's the throttle. Let's leave that one alone. The red buttons are the one.
Perfect. Well, what an incredible day here it's been on Seneva and Aqua, but it's now time to retire to the master suite, which has its own shower and private bathroom. And I think I'll catch up on a movie in my drop-down screen. However, before I do that, I'm going to pour myself a glass of champagne and I'm going to get into my glass-bottom jacuzzi. And let's be honest, only the best yachts in the world have a glass-bottom jacuzzi. Well, if you'll excuse me. Coming up next, I take a closer look at how Seneva is giving back to the community, including a program that, surprisingly, is teaching the locals to swim. Welcome back to the Maldives. 3.5 hours flight southwest from mainland India, where I've been lucky enough to visit a number of the Seneva properties during my stay. One thing that's really stuck out for me is the genuine care and concern shown by the staff, here known as hosts. I caught up with the resort's general manager, Ranveer Bandari, to talk to him about Seneva's approach to their team.
I think the greatest asset that we have on the island is our people. The ladies and gentlemen of Seneva they go through a very exhaustive interviewing program so that we are very sure that the Sonevian who's going to join the team also is part of an attitude which would breathe the ethos and actually actualize the ethos. I think that's the most important. Yeah. And these are very special, ladies and gentlemen. And we just ensure that we create an environment which is really warm, sincere and caring. And the philosophy of our chairman, Sonu, is that the moment you create very happy hosts who are extremely content by their working spaces, by their living spaces, they would automatically exude that aura and create very happy guests. And we all are hosts, each one of us, whether it's me or it's the host who's looking after the gardens. We're all hosts, and we're all ensuring that we have a level of responsibility and accountability, and we just love it. And it's not a job for us, it's like a lifestyle.
Yep, yep.
And it's a very special lifestyle because it's a lifestyle of slow life, and it's a lifestyle of intelligent luxury. I mean, unless it doesn't come from the heart and the host completely takes ownership and enjoys what they are doing, it would always show. And it's a very natural experience that what they are able to create, and in a very pure and rare form. So it's a collection of beautiful, rare experiences that our hosts create every day. And for them, every day is a new experience.
It's so refreshing.
It
really
is indeed.
It really is.
Indeed.
Ranveer, thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Richard. Pleasure.
Training is key at Soneva, and they go to great lengths to work with the local hosts so they can use their skills not just at the resort, but to help them grow their careers. And the feedback from the hosts I spoke to was very positive.
I've always heard about how well Soneva treats its hosts. We're not called staff, that's a big difference. We're called hosts because we welcome people into our family. I think the main point is that they try to treat us well. The hosts come first before the customers, because if the hosts are happy, the customers are happy, the guests are happy.
The Soneva organisation recognises the importance of investing in the future, and one of the programmes here is the Junior Host Programme, which gives a chance to kids like this to have opportunities that they typically wouldn't have. And I'm here with some of the junior hosts today. How are you guys?
Hi.
Good, good. And this is Mush. Mush, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Now, where are you from, Mush?
I'm from Maldives.
The Maldives, on this island or another island?
No, another island, from Baito.
Okay, and what did you do before you came to the Junior Host Programme here?
Before, I'm not doing anything.
Nothing at all?
Yes, nothing.
Oh. And what do you enjoy while you're here working in Junior Host?
I can get many friends here, then I can learn so many things from Junior Host programs. Then there is so many different parts I can go. Like a training has 1 week housekeeping, then HR, like that. Then there is one thing I would like, kitchen.
You enjoy the kitchen, that's your
Yes.
favourite.
Yes.
Why do you enjoy that so much?
Because I can learn more bakery things. Because in my future I'm going to build, I have a shop.
Yeah?
I'm going to open a bakery from there.
Oh, so you are going to go back to your hometown and open your own bakery.
Uh-huh.
That's fantastic, and it's things like that where inspiration comes from being here that makes this program really, really good. As we've just seen from the Soneva Junior Host Programme, the Soneva organisation likes to employ locals, but it's not just about that. It's about actually getting involved in local communities. Now, I was very surprised to learn that although 99% of the Maldives is underwater, a majority of the population can't swim. For the Soneva organisation, I've started a programme here called the Learn to Swim Programme. And Munin, tell me a little bit more about it.
So the Soneva Learn to Swim program is an idea that came out of the 2014 Slow Life Symposium, and the idea is that we will teach as many children as possible to learn to swim, so that it is obviously, since we're surrounded by water, a life-saving skill. In addition to that, we want young adults to be growing up respecting the ocean and the water around them.
Now, is it just the kids that you're teaching to swim?
No, so for us it's very important that the program becomes self-sustaining. So we have tried to go into the islands and teach adults to become swimming instructors, so they can in turn teach the children year after year, so the program becomes self-sustaining.
Right, and all these children behind us, this is all local kids, right?
Right, right.
So tell me a little bit about how the program's working.
So when we first started the program, we started with really intense 2-week programs where we would teach the instructors in the morning and then teach the children in the afternoon. But since then we have created enough instructors in the islands. We have handed over the program to them to run by themselves, and now they have more flexible schedules. So they run the program now mostly on the weekends, and it goes for 3 to 4 months.
Yep. And are the kids embracing it? Are they showing up for the lessons?
Yes. So it's been a huge success for us. Each year since 2014, we have had the grade 3 students in both of our neighboring islands complete the program.
Fantastic. Sadly, my time in the Maldives is coming to an end. But before I leave, I get the chance to see firsthand the good work that Soneva is doing for neighbouring communities. In a previous episode, we highlighted the Soneva Foundation's Myanmar Stove campaign. Now, as well as the overall foundation, each resort that Soneva has creates a budget out of annual revenues to invest in local communities. Now, surprisingly, the hosts are allowed to put forward ideas on how that money can be best implemented. And I've taken a small boat today to a neighbouring island of Soneva Fushi to see one of those projects. Oh, my favourite marine biologist. So not only is she saving the oceans, but she's getting very involved in local community projects. Hey, how are you?
I'm very well. Welcome to the island of Malos, Richard.
Malos. So where exactly is Malos?
Malos is a local island which is very close to Soneva Fushi. It has a small population of roughly 500 people, which we have been always working with in the past few years. At Soneva, we love working with the local communities of the neighboring islands. We recently found out that local communities, they run out of water. So how do they run out of water? They run out of water because even though we are surrounded by water, they rely on rainwater and groundwater for their drinking uses. And during the dry season, between April and July, they run out of this precious resource. So we came up with a simple yet innovative idea for a local island. We started using a desalination unit.
So how did they get the water in here before?
So generally speaking, during the dry season, they get water shipped from Male, or they start using bottled water, bottled in plastic bottles, which is the general uses. Yeah. This is not sustainable in the long term in terms of environment and in terms of economical sustainability. Shipping water from Male, it's not a great thing.
Right.
And environmentally speaking, how do they manage the resource, the bottles, after they've used them? Either they burn them or they end up thrown in the ocean.
Okay.
So we needed to find a solution, both benefiting the community but also benefiting the environment. So that's where we came up with the same process that we have at Soneva Fushi, desalinating water and producing drinking water.
Now, I hear you were a big part of this program, the idea going forward and presenting it. Why are you so passionate about that?
So at Soneva, we work with local communities, with all together. Each of us, each of the hosts, is enabled to come up with ideas and actually put them forward. I work in the ocean, it's my passion, and seeing water bottles ending up in the ocean, it was not great. Yeah. We know that plastic, it's a massive problem for our planet, and that was the idea that brought my spirit and brought all my enthusiasm to work here at Malos.
Can we go have a look?
Of course, please come in.
Let's go. So this is a really impressive setup. Is it similar to the desalination plant that we saw over in Soneva Fushi?
It's a very similar setup where we take the water from the ocean, we desalinate it, we further filter it over here, and then we bottle it over here.
And what kind of capacity can you bottle per day?
We can produce 3,000 liters of water per day. which is more than what we actually need.
Yeah, and you must be really proud of this.
This is definitely a very good example of how Soneva brings sustainability in the forefront. And it's a long work ahead, but it's also a lot of work that we've done so far to achieve all of this.
Yeah. Angelo, you're the innovation manager for the Soneva organisation. As an innovation manager, what do you do?
Well, broadly speaking, I try to come up with new ideas to help keep Soneva at the cutting edge, but also to help the company run more smoothly.
Now, this plant is obviously quite the innovation, but it took some kind of investment. Mm-hmm. So how do you recoup that investment?
Well, we'll be selling the water to two main markets. There's the domestic households and then the more commercial side, which are guest houses and cafes. We'll be selling it at either market rate or slightly below. And to the guest houses, we have these half-litre glass bottles, and then the households will get these 19-litre polycarbonate bottles, which are more user-friendly for households with kids. It's a bit safer, and once they're used several hundred times, they can be recycled.
Right, and that's quite the blueprint. Do you plan to expand on that at all?
Yeah, so we obviously don't want to keep reinvesting loads of money. So we're going to use this island as a hub to service nearby islands, which will help increase our market by several fold and recoup the costs much more quickly.
Nice. And what about this brand right here, Vitric?
Vitric. So this is the brand that we're using to sell the water.
Right.
It means relating to glass, which is obviously quite apt. And that's one of the big advantages of this system, is that there won't be any waste. We're turning a linear system into a more cyclical one.
As usual, Soneva's waste to wealth philosophy has managed to both solve an environmental problem and at the same time create a sustainable and profitable solution. But I'll leave the final word to one of those who benefit the most, the locals.
So it will reduce the plastics we are using in daily lives, and at the same time we will get the more pure drinking water as we use in our daily life now.
So very sadly, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, my time at Soneva in the Maldives has drawn to an end. And it's fair to say, now having experienced a number of Soneva properties, that they truly set the benchmark in luxury ecotourism. Not only are their destinations the ultimate in barefoot luxury, their service impeccable, and their experience is custom tailored for every guest, but their commitment to the environment and the local communities is second to none. And I have to admit, now when I stay at other properties around the world, I actually find myself always comparing them to Soneva. They just set the bar so high. So to be honest, this hasn't been a very difficult eco scorecard to grade, and taking all of our factors into consideration, there is simply no other choice than to award the score of A+. Unfortunately, the time has come for us to leave Soneva Fushi, and nobody, trust me, ever wants to leave this kind of paradise. But you know, in the time that I've spent here, I've really come to realise that the people at Soneva have written a template for sustainable ecotourism. Many organisations do it because they have to, others do it because they want to. But here at Soneva, they really go above and beyond, and they live and breathe this stuff. And it's not just a marketing campaign. In fact, a lot of the guests don't even know most of the stuff that Soneva does, never mind the Soneva Foundation. Standing here on this pristine beach makes me realise how fragile the earth really is. Here in the Maldives, the highest point is 4 metres. Any significant rise in the sea levels at all means that this place just wouldn't be here, and that's just a shame. And it really brings home the importance of all of the things that Soneva are doing to leave no trace. I'm Richard Crawford. Until next time.